Hi, everybody, and welcome to Washington Live. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. I'm joined by our producer, Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant, and our repeat guest, is Todd Patterson. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Jaron. Thanks for having me back. Am I your first repeat guest?
You are the first repeat guest.
Not that it's a competition or a big deal,
but we were also meant. Todd's show has been the highest watched show since we've started. The first time we talked about Mary Poppins. This time we're going to talk about hospital stuff after we do our usual. If you're watching, I do need to shout that out. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your viewership. We'd like that you would like and follow. If you haven't done so, that you give us content suggestions. And if you have a birthday shout out, please give us that. You can put it in the chat, or you can put it into an email to washialive@gmail.com.
Also, hit the share button. It's cheap. It's an easy way to support.
No, we appreciate that. We're all growing together, doing our thing. We're going to do our usual, which is weather, almanac, local events. We'll do a break. We'll talk about some hospital things. We'll follow up with that, finishing that conversation, and then playing the birthday game, which has morphed and adapted a little bit. We'll do birthday shout-outs and the birthday game. So let's do weather, and then we'll talk about the police activities. As you watch, it's 77 degrees and sunny. This afternoon, it'll be up to 89 degrees, partly cloudy, which will be nice. In the nighttime, it's dropping down to 71. This weekend will be toasty. Saturday, 97. Sunday, 86. Weekend plans? Well, you have a show.
Aces and Eights is playing at Tiffin Rec Fest at the Tiffin City Park from 5:30 to 8:30 on Saturday. That's our big thing this weekend.
So Saturday, if you're watching, you can go to Tiffin and watch Aces and Eights. And then if you're watching today, Friday, it's the motocross at the fair, the last big fair event, which I'm looking forward to. It should be great. Here's police activity. Since our last show, there's been 50 calls for service. 7 were arrest warrants. 6 were traffic, 3 were theft, 2 fire, 2 suspicious activity, 2 animal, 2s and 1s all the way down with the usual fraud, trespass, property lost, property found, vandalism, public service, sex offender checks, assault, illegal dumping, weapons violation, hang-up calls. Let's get to the highlights. I don't think anyone that we know is in the list.
I always find illegal dumping to be very gripping myself.
So the first one is caller reports that someone chained a husky dog in her yard thinking it was hers. 106 was advised that the dog catcher was contacted. The owner made contact with the dog pound, and the dog was released to the rightful owner. I didn't see this till now. That's not your everyday. Caller reports their car tire is on fire. 9219 and Crawfordsville Fire both responded and assisted. Do you think that'd be like a rotor issue, like a locked rotor? How does a car?
I don't know how that. I don't know enough about cars.
Probably bearing issue.
I think you're nuts.
Because I've actually started a trailer tire on fire.
I think I heard this. Your nephew mentioned that you are amazing at a lot of things, but being handy might not be one.
Handy's not a strength of mine.
That is all right. We all bring different things to the table.
I've started multiple things on fire accidentally.
I heard there's a jet ski.
That exploded.
I'm so glad that you were there. Did I also hear a story about Studley car that Todd drives? Did you knock a rim off once?
Well, that's yes. I bent the rims, both of the rims on the driver's side, trying to do some cookies in the in a snow-covered parking lot. But that's a longer story.
As an adult child myself, I appreciate these things, and we're going to talk about serious stuff later. We're just going to get the silly stuff out of the way now, perhaps. We have other offenses. Let's see. Reports being out with an open door, no issues. This was not the usual as well. Caller reports a subject walked by his house about 45 minutes ago and spit on the caller's mailbox. He has signs supporting current or former president. Neighbors witnessed the incident and made the caller aware of the situation. He would like to speak with an officer. 110 spoke with the caller and the other party involved, who said they did not spit at the mailbox. I don't know what to say about that.
It's really he said, kind of.
He said, she said. That's the spitting on the mailbox. I think we have just a couple other things. A little bit of assault at the fairgrounds. It sounds like it's just children fighting. Caller reports 2 children on electric scooters who are in traffic and almost got hit. 1 male, 1 female, 6 to 7 years old.
Hate those, not hate those kids, hate those scooters. I should have changed our words before I finished that sentence.
Support the kids.
Yeah, I hate those scooters.
We have two more. We had a loitering issue, and then finally, this strange caller reports her family member headstone was vandalized. The words were scratched off and covered with blue paint, which is terrible.
Yeah, who does that?
Strange.
What awful person does that?
I do not understand. As always, if you know the rest of the story, feel free to share it. If you'd like to interact, we check comments during our commercial break, so feel free to comment as we go. If you're commenting live, we'll check those on the commercial break.
Or if you're responsible, turn yourself in, right?
Yes.
This is your guilt.
The headstone. Oh, that's true. The rest of the story is you should go to the jail. Oh, I'm just glad I'm not in trouble today. What do we have next on the agenda? Almanac Best Days.
Yes.
What's it the best day for?
It's a good day. What's today? July 22nd.
Shout out to some of my ambulance friends who they watched two of the shows, and both of the shows we were talking about either neutering or castration. So I'm hoping that's not on the list.
EMS does that?
Covered it a third time. EMS does not do that.
It's a good day to begin a diet to lose weight. I'll do another 5-day diet.
You do have your Friday shirt on, by the way.
I do, yeah.
I forgot to comment.
Nice and fun.
It's nice.
Color your hair, which I should probably not do. Quit smoking, and then there's one more. Wean animals or children.
Say what?
Wean.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
I don't know. Wean animals or children. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for those best days. We're going to go to break. When we come back, our guest, Todd Patterson, the CEO of Washington County Hospital and Clinics, we're going to talk about some of that stuff. You're watching Washington Live. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. We're powered by KCTC. Stick around.
At Ace, we're eager to assist you with all your shopping needs. Whether that be finally painting that room, getting ready for the next hunting season, or upgrading your bathroom. Whatever it may be, we'll make sure you get what you need.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Bring the kids and share the memories from steam engines, antique cars and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Maybe your memories are of great food from the North Village to the Log Village, or learning how to square dance over at the dance barn. This is the place where memories are made. Make plans now to enjoy the history of the past at the 2022 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, September 1st through 5th at Mount Pleasant. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. Our producer is Nick Steffens, and our guest is Todd Patterson.
We gotta get the giggles out.
Since we've got to get the giggles out, it's kind of like a giggle in church. Good day to start a diet. We were talking about the different types of gym bodies, just your normal everyday conversation. We've covered several. We're going to transition from that to dad jokes and then hospital services. Todd, what do you have for us?
It's a natural transition.
Yeah.
I have a couple dad jokes I could do. I asked my wife the other day if I was the only one she'd ever dated. She said, unfortunately, yes, all the rest were 9s and 10s.
Oh, that is a good one. And doesn't line up with the gym bod definition you gave yourself. Do you have another one for us?
Sure. You remember when
Is this about the twins?
air used to be free? Air used to be free at the gas station, right?
Okay.
Now they charge you for it. You know why?
Why?
Inflation.
Timely.
All right.
Wait, one of these buttons is like a rim shot. But I don't know which one it is.
You've got to work on your sound.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this one.
Do we have one more for us? Before
I got it right.
Okay, I'll do one more. Are you gonna rim shot it?
I got it right, so we can do it.
What do you get if you when you cross an elephant with a rhino?
Tell me.
Elephino.
Hell if I know.
Oh, I hit a second button. That was the.
Did you hit?
I hit the rim shot and then I accidentally hit the scary music button right after it.
Well, we'll see.
We're going to work on that if you were listening. I'm sorry that you did. You have been, so the title at the hospital, King Boss?
Chief Executive Officer
Chief
is
Executive
my title.
Officer.
Yes.
How long have you been at the hospital, Todd?
I started in April of 2018, so just a little over 4 years.
4 years. And you've seen the hospital through some transition, and it is I think it's a thriving machine. You're giving people kind of like what we want to do on this show. We want to give people what they want, and I think you're doing that at the hospital. Let's talk about these. Our topics are new services and then new initiatives. What do we have?
I mean, I think in general, and you can show some of this stuff, we're trying to do a couple of things. We're really trying to enhance the service level offerings that we have at Washington County Hospital. And we're trying to do that through expansion of services. And the other things we're trying to do is really set the hospital up for success over the next 2-3 decades. And so we're doing some infrastructure projects, and we're doing some things to really strengthen our ability to continue to provide services, to compete in the marketplace. Nick is showing some things here.
Yeah.
So the previous slide you had, Nick, was UMaGospi. One of the big challenges in Washington County, Washington in particular, is diabetes. It's one of the biggest threats to our health nationally, but also in Washington specifically, we have a big diabetic problem. And we've recruited Dr. McGospi, who's an endocrinologist who specializes in diabetic care, who is also partnered with Amy Martin, who's a diabetic educator, and Taylor Stevens, who is a dietitian, to really come up with treatment plans for people with diabetes. He also does thyroid issues and some of the other.
Well, what I would throw out there is, and I'm so fortunate to have met Dr. McGospi at a Rotary function when he spoke, and if people matter to you, which I think, of course they do, like what a down-to-earth, so intelligent individual that can provide this type of care, who's educated both abroad and here in the United States, and just has this knowledge, and it's just, I found him to be so grounded and knowledgeable and easy to talk to, which I appreciate in a care provider.
He's a fascinating individual and an extremely nice man, just generally speaking, and he knows endocrinology well better than me, for instance.
So shout out to that. What else do we have in the lineup?
BJ Green is Washington County Hospital hadn't had a surgeon since 2007, a full-time surgeon since 2007. So we hired Dr. Green about 18 months ago. He was at Mercy, Iowa City for several years prior to that, and we actually hired him during the pandemic. He's doing a lot of GI work, so colonoscopy,
gotcha.
upper GI, that's about probably 50 to 60% of his practice, but he's also doing hernia repair, gallbladder, emergency appendectomy, anything else you need sort of locked
Which is the handful of things that I think you really need.
We need to hear.
Yeah.
He also does some breast cancer work, and so really nice practice down here. Again, really nice individual, really competent surgeon, and we're really thrilled to have him.
Is he here full-time?
Full-time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So if you go to the next one,
what else
these
do we
are
have?
two more recent. Libby Dassow she actually lives in the Fairfield area. Her husband is working with Matt Prohoda. It's one of the reasons we were able to sort of
excellent.
Get her in. And
rheumatology. I was thinking GI as well. What is rheumatology?
Rheumatology is rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
Is kind of one of the main things, but it's connective tissue disorders. So lupus, fibromyalgia, some of those types of things, and she is here several times a month, and we have a significant need for that in our community. Rheumatoid arthritis strikes a lot of people, and we can usually get them, the infusions and things they need, the biologic drugs that they need locally then, so they don't have to go to Iowa City to do those things.
So since she's here several times a month, how do you connect with this type of service? How do you get booked with her? How do you connect?
Either through your primary care provider, which either could be with us or otherwise, or there's appointment information here,
Oh, yeah.
which
There it
will
is.
call her practice directly. Depending on your insurance and other things, may require a referral, but they'll know.
They'll figure that out.
Call, yeah.
Excellent.
And then, so one of the newest things, so we're adding dermatology beginning in, actually August 10th will be our first dermatology visit. So Jessica Coffey is a nurse practitioner who will be providing service down here.
And where did practitioner coffee come from? How did
She's based out of Cedar Rapids,
Cedar
so she'll be
Rapids,
coming down
excellent.
here several times a month as well. I think, she's going to be treating acne, eczema. She's going to be doing every kind of biopsy needed. So any medical dermatology needs that people would have, up to what's called Mohs surgery, which is cancer excision. So that we won't do that here.
Yep.
That will be referred up. She's also going to do some light cosmetic work, maybe some Botox or some types of fillers. And
I believe there is demand for that as well.
Yeah.
Because the new thing is not just Botox to correct, it's called preventative Botox.
Yeah,
And so,
prophylactic Botox.
isn't that?
I just made that up. I don't
Okay.
actually know. You were on a roll, so,
I know, but I thought prophylactics were like contraceptives.
and preventive. It means,
Oh.
it means, yeah,
All right, we're learning lots of
there are.
things.
It's contraceptives do? They prevent, right?
What else do we have? I am learning. Oh yeah, let's talk about the new initiatives. We have three.
So there's several new initiatives that we're really interested in. And again, those new services were this is what we're doing now to, meet the needs of the community. This is, we've got a pretty strong directive from our hospital board that we want to remain an independent entity, that we want to continue to serve the citizens of Washington County at a very high level. In order to do that, we've really got to set up our infrastructure in a way that we can, for the next 20, 30 years, be independent and really ready to meet those needs. So,
And if we can tag that back to the beginning, I think there's some statistics and facts about our county hospital that make it unique in the entire nation. Is that correct? Being one of the first county hospitals or the first county hospital?
first with a county levy tax, west of the Mississippi.
Well, I guess I'm speaking to it being cutting edge or the independence that you speak of. I think
Yeah.
there's a long history
There's
of that tracing right back to the
Well,
beginning.
1907 was when the first individuals identified the need for it and started working on it. And then 1912 was when the first hospital actually went into operation. So we've been in operation since 1912. But
That is
really,
incredible.
in 1907, it started in people's houses and they were working on this tax levy. So not only has the hospital been around for a long time, but the support from the community has been extremely strong through that entire time.
Well, I think we're thankful for that and thankful for the hospital that is serving our community. We're going to go to a break here in a second, and then when we come back, we have three of the new initiatives at the hospital to talk about. You're watching Washington Live. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. Our guest is Todd Patterson. Stick around. We'll talk about hospital initiatives right after the break.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
many, farmland holds more than financial value. It holds emotional value. Whether your farm has been in your family for generations or it's an investment, we recognize the importance of your relationship with your land. At Hertz Farm Management, we have been serving landowners in Iowa for over 75 years. At Hertz, we bring a personal and knowledgeable approach to helping customers manage, buy, sell, or appraise farms. We invite you to visit our Washington office and partner with someone you can trust.
Hi, everybody. You're watching Washington Live. I'm your host, Jaron Rosine. Our producer is Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant, and our guest is Todd Patterson. We're talking about the hospital. Why are you teasing out?
You just make me laugh. I don't know, sort of spontaneously sometimes.
I'll take it. That is fine. If you have a birthday shout out, by the way, throw that in the chat. You can email birthday shout outs to washialive@gmail.com or anniversaries. We want to give you the credit where that credit is due. We're talking about credit to the hospital, new initiatives. Let's pick up where we left off.
Yeah, we really have three, two that are going forward and one that we're considering. And I'm actually kind of interested in feedback on the last one. So,
Sure.
The first one that Nick had up there was a system called Epic, which is a new electronic medical record that we're going to be putting in a year. So in the fall, we're going to start the implementation process. It's going to take us about 13 months. And
Shout out, by the way, there is an Epic programmer that lives in Timber Ridge that is a neighbor of
Really?
the Timber Ridge people that live there. And when we were talking about Epic just recently at a pool
Yeah.
party, said, oh my gosh, this is great. Make sure you connect me because if there's needs locally. So she works remotely and is an Epic programmer that came to Washington from West Des Moines.
that's fantastic.
So just a thing.
I need to connect with her. That's great.
Yeah.
So this system integrates all of our current EMRs. We have 3 EMRs, one for our clinics, one for our hospital, and one for our emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
This will replace all of those, and will also connect us with larger facilities or any other facility that uses Epic. So it creates this interoperability between hospitals. So
It might be boring to the patient, but for the patient, it's actually great because it folds it all together, right?
It does. So if you're seen, let's say you're seen at Jefferson County and then you come up and see us, we can share records seamlessly back and forth because they're an Epic provider. If you go up to the University of Iowa, we can share records seamlessly. If you're in Tennessee and you get in a car accident and you're unconscious and they're an Epic provider,
They can pull
They
everything.
can pull your allergies, your immunizations if they need that, from our system in Epic. So it creates this network of interoperability, which is really powerful and really patient-centered.
I was just going to say, this is all about the patient,
It's all
which I
about the
think that
patient.
last
Yeah.
initiative that we're going to talk about, maybe there's one first, but again, it's about the patient. What else do we have?
The next one is, I would define this as unsexy. Is probably the best way to put it. But if you've
some people, it's very sexy.
If you've driven by the hospital, well, this is
In the
technically
industry.
we're technically in steel erection right now. So I know you want to. So this is our plant ops facility. The boilers, chillers, air handling units, and all of the infrastructure that supports the hospital is all older than me.
I remember hearing about this because you were doing the specs and the planning for this, because it's a big deal to replace this type of
It's a
infrastructure.
massive project. Our boilers are like 30% efficient right now.
And how old? So there's
1968. is
68, so 30, 52, 55 years old.
55 years old.
And the new one, what is the projected lifespan of the things that you
25
put
to 30 years.
25 to
we'll
30.
be there. And the current boilers are about the size of a Greyhound bus. The new ones are about the size of this table. And we'll
Understood.
have 3 of them instead of 2, and they'll be super energy efficient and cost effective. And we'll do a much better job of having control over temperatures, especially in patient care areas where it's really important to manage temperature and humidity.
Of course, absolutely. Oh, I need to put my thing on mute. Tell us about the helicopters.
Oh, you want to? Okay, well, this
Wait, is there more about
No, this will be done in June of 2023.
And what part of the building can people see the erections? Where?
It's right on the back. It's right on the back side of the hospital.
Okay. Just wondering if people wanted to drive by and
Thank
see
you
the
for
process. Moving to the helicopter.
So this is something we're considering, and I'm interested in getting feedback. I've reached out to a lot of leaders in town and actually in the county. We're talking to a company called Air Methods, and they partner with the University of Iowa, the potential of day basing a helicopter down here for patient care purposes. So from 7 to 4, 8 to 5, we may have a helicopter on our helipad, which would do a couple things. First of all, we would have dibs to it, so
Sure.
if we have patients who have code STEMIs or strokes or something like that, heart attacks. So,
And we see this with the first responder work. Right now, a helicopter would come from Iowa City
Right.
or would come from Burlington.
Yep.
And while they are fast, it's not as fast as if you had one right here.
It's probably 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And our ambulance guys do a great job, and they get people up. And this would not replace the stuff that the ambulance does by any means. Really, what this is in more general terms is the ability for a helicopter to get further south in the state, and really us having it be based at our facility.
Sure.
So they can get down to almost the Missouri border, and they can respond 15, 20 minutes faster than if they were coming from north.
Because those 15, 20 minutes would be doubled for the other helicopters
Right.
that would
And
respond.
it's
Patient focus. This is
Patient
about
focus,
getting,
right.
and time is the factor for life-saving
Exactly.
procedures. I mean, it's time.
And so I think we're pretty excited about this prospect. I'd say probably 50 to 60% of the way through negotiations with the groups that need to be involved with this. But, I've been trying to get in front of people just to talk about some of the realities of it. It could be noisier than it has been. We do use the helipad right now frequently. We've never had a noise
It's
complaint.
not a daily.
Right. This would probably be 3 takeoffs and 3 landings per day on average. And so
For people in the neighborhood or people in the community that want, so this is kind of that first planting of a seed for feedback about
Right.
this. Again, patient focused, but then there's an impact on
Right.
the residential community.
And as the helicopter sits on the helipad, it's really not loud. It's when it takes off, and then it's pretty much gone.
Yep.
So I think it's pretty limited. The other thing is there's a thing called rotor wash, which, if you're landing a helicopter next to a dumpster, for instance, it'll empty the dumpster out, right? So we would put some fencing up around it so that rotor wash wouldn't be an issue, and also the helicopter would be
The safety and the security of the helicopter, so
Yeah.
there's no tampering.
Yeah. So I think we're excited about the one on the right there.
Yeah.
Is I actually took that picture while they were taking off from our facility the other day with a patient on board.
And this
So-
helicopter, or one of them, was here yesterday at the fair. There was a public safety day.
And so one of the interesting things is, we could do that. We can have some open houses with the helicopter so people can come and see it and do some types of events. The only caveat is if they get called into service during it, they have to leave pretty quickly.
Absolutely. What's the best way for people to give feedback? I mean, they can put comments in the chat, or we can put something in the
That
chat.
would be fine, and you can pass it along to us, or on our website, there is a general email address so wchc.org.
Well, we will throw that website into the chat, so if you'd like to comment on this proposal, this helicopter medical service that is being
And I would
considered.
be very interested if people are supportive as well. So
Air Method.
Air Methods is the company we would
Yeah.
partner with, and then it would be also a partial partnership with the University of Iowa.
That is fantastic. And again, at the end of the day, I mean, we have other services that, I mean, are they competing or are they not competing? But at the end of the day, it's about
the patient, yeah.
and the time to serve them.
And I don't think there's going to be much competition, to be honest with you. And all the the leaders, I've talked to Jeremy Peck and Jared Schneider and Brendan DeLong and you and Chief Lester, and I need to continue.
If people are on board, we just want to make sure we do it right and reach people and
Yeah.
talk about
So
it.
there's been a lot of support for it, and we'll keep working through if there's any issues as we go. So I also just want,
Please, no, do it. Say what
I
you're
was going to
to.
move on to the next thing.
Please tell.
I want to give a shout out to the Y Kids Summer Camp, because they are having a lemonade and baked goods stand today from 9 to 11.
So if you're watching
And 1 to
today,
4.
today's Friday. Wait,
It's today. It's
Friday?
no,
it's in a week from today.
it's a week from today.
You have plenty of time. So today is Friday the 22nd if you're watching us live, but this is Friday the 29th. We'll shout out, we have more times to shout.
Somebody told me it was today, and I feel like that's not on me, but
It's
not on you either. No, it wasn't-
Under the bus you go, whoever said it. There's plenty of time for you to do it. The YMCA is another great partner, as is the
They
hospital.
are. And we're going to, any proceeds that come from this, first of all, we're very thankful. And we're going to be using the proceeds from this to upgrade our imaging equipment at the family medicine site, which we're moving from an analog system to a digital system.
How old is the analog?
Well, I think probably 2011.
11, okay.
Maybe 11 years. And so we're going to move to a full digitized system.
That's the next step.
And that's a nice upgrade. And we'll use this and other funds for that.
I'm happy to hear it. We're going to transition. We've been having a wonderful conversation. Before the break, we were talking about services at the hospital. After the break, we've been talking about initiatives that are coming up at the hospital. And we're going to keep Todd on as we finish today's show and we do the national days and the birthday game. I know you're pretty pumped.
I'm super excited.
Behave ourselves as we close out today's show. Nick, what do we have? What are our days?
National days for today are National Rat Catcher Day. So
right.
appreciate your local rat catcher. Tomorrow, I include these ones because I thought they were pretty good. Gorgeous Grandma Day.
Excellent.
So shout out to Nana. And then it's National Day of the Cowboy. Yeehaw.
You could pull off cowboy. You've got this.
I won't tell it because we're already going on.
The horse
show.
stories will come for later.
Yes,
the horse stories will come.
Whoa.
This just gets off.
You're going to get me in trouble.
So fast.
My girlfriend watches these. Calm down.
Shout out to our friends and family. They're our most consistent viewers, I think. Or do we have any birthday shout outs that have been in the chat?
Not in the